If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns are heading into Week 12 with a storyline that has fans buzzing and analysts talking. Shedeur Sanders, the rookie quarterback drafted in the 5th round, is set to make his first NFL start against the Las Vegas Raiders. It's the kind of opportunity that can define a young player's career, and the spotlight is firmly on Sanders as he prepares to take the field. Of course, making a debut in the NFL is never easy. And while the media focus has understandably centered on Sanders himself, there's a deeper truth that some of the league's former players are eager to point out. A quarterback's success is never about him alone. Football is the ultimate team game, and for Sanders to shine in his first start, the other skilled players around him are going to have to elevate their performances in ways that go beyond the ordinary. This message was recently delivered by former Pro Bowl wide receiver T.J. Houshmandzadeh, who appeared on Emmanuel Acho's Speakeasy podcast and didn't mince words when discussing what it will take for Sanders to have a productive outing. Houshmandzadeh emphasized that while the rookie quarterback is the face of this particular story, the reality of the field is that every pass, every route, every block and catch will matter immensely. With football being the ultimate team game, Houshmandzadeh said, "Can Jerry Jeudy give us a performance that he was putting up a little bit last year? With Jameis Winston as his quarterback, can David Njoku make an uncommon play? Can Harold Fannin make an uncommon play? If they can do that, now Shedeur can do what you want him to do. But one of you players has to make an uncommon play. He can't do it on his own. Ultimate team game." These words carry weight not just because Houshmandzadeh was a standout receiver during his own career, but because they cut to the heart of what makes a rookie quarterback's first start particularly challenging. The margin for error is small, the pressure is high, and the responsibility to ignite big plays doesn't rest solely on the rookie's shoulders. Looking at the Browns roster, there is reason for cautious optimism. Jerry Jeudy, the standout wide receiver who has demonstrated the ability to create separation and make big plays in critical moments, will be a primary focus. His performance last season with Jameis Winston showed glimpses of what he is capable of, and if he can recapture that form, it will go a long way toward alleviating the pressure on Sanders. Then there's David Njoku, a talented tight end with the physical tools to make contested catches and stretch the field in unexpected ways. Njoku has the ability to change the complexion of a game in a single play, something Houshmandzadeh aptly described as an uncommon play. Alongside them, Harold Fannin represents a wild card element. While not as established as Jeudy or Njoku, his capacity to surprise defenses can create opportunities and open windows that a young quarterback can exploit. The message is clear. Sanders will only look as good as the players around him allow him to. And for Cleveland to succeed on Sunday, the offensive skill group must rise to the occasion. Sanders' first taste of NFL action came last week against the Baltimore Ravens, a game that was far from ideal for a debut. With starting quarterback Dillon Gabriel sidelined due to a concussion, Sanders entered the fray under less than perfect circumstances. The numbers tell a tough story, completing only 4 of 16 passes for 47 yards and throwing an interception. On the ground, he managed 16 yards on 3 attempts, averaging a respectable 5.3 yards per carry. But the passing game struggled to find rhythm. While these statistics may appear discouraging at first glance, they are far from definitive. Rookie quarterbacks often face steep learning curves, and the challenge of stepping into an NFL game midweek with little preparation is enormous. What Sanders lacked in efficiency against Baltimore was experience and timing with his receivers. And it's precisely this element that a full week of practice leading up to the Raiders game can begin to address. The Cleveland defense will have the benefit of more preparation this week, and that cannot be understated. A full week of practice allows for installation of game plans, timing drills with receivers, and a chance to adjust to defensive tendencies in a controlled environment, rather than in the chaos of a live game. For a rookie quarterback like Sanders, this week of preparation is an invaluable opportunity to build confidence and establish chemistry with his targets. It also gives the coaching staff a chance to identify areas of vulnerability in the Raiders' defense that Sanders and the Browns' offense can exploit. While the rookie's first start will certainly carry nerves, there is optimism that these additional reps, along with the talent surrounding him, can translate into a performance that is competitive and perhaps even memorable. It's worth noting that the Raiders, while not without talent, have struggled defensively this season, giving up opportunities to opposing quarterbacks and failing to consistently pressure the pocket. This presents an opening for the Browns and Sanders to test themselves against a unit that is more beatable than some of the elite defenses he will inevitably face in his career. That being said, the NFL is never forgiving, and defenses can make mistakes appear smaller than they are, or capitalize on a rookie's hesitation in ways that instantly change the momentum of a game. Sanders' challenge will be to maintain poise, process information quickly, and trust that his skilled players will step up when it matters most. The Browns' hopes for a successful outing hinge on that precise combination of individual talent, team cohesion, and mental fortitude. Houshmandzadeh's comments resonate here because they highlight a truth that is often overlooked. Even the most talented quarterback cannot shoulder the full responsibility of an offense on his own. For Sanders to succeed, Jerry Jeudy must be capable of producing the kind of game-breaking plays he is known for. Njoku must rise to the occasion with contested catches and key conversions, and Fannin or others must contribute in ways that shift the dynamics of the defense. This is not about placing blame on the rookie. It's about recognizing that football is the ultimate team sport, and even the most promising talent requires support. Houshmandzadeh's insight provides context for fans and analysts alike, reminding everyone that while the headlines will focus on Sanders' first start, the story of success or struggle will be written collectively. As Sunday approaches, the anticipation builds. Browns fans are curious to see how Sanders handles the full preparation, how the offensive line protects him, and whether his receivers can make those critical, uncommon plays that Houshmandzadeh highlighted. The narrative is compelling, a rookie quarterback stepping into his first start, supported by a mix of proven talent and promising newcomers, facing a Raiders defense that has been inconsistent at best. It's the kind of scenario that can produce breakout performances, tough lessons, and memorable moments in equal measure. For Sanders, this is more than just a start, it's an initiation into the NFL's intensity, a chance to demonstrate that he belongs, and an opportunity to begin carving out his own narrative in a league where every game counts. Ultimately, the success of Shedeur Sanders' first NFL start will not be measured solely by his individual statistics. It will be measured by how effectively he integrates with his team, how well his receivers execute, and whether the Browns can collectively rise to the occasion against the Raiders. Houshmandzadeh's words serve as both a challenge and a reminder. Football is a team game, and extraordinary performances are rarely, if ever, accomplished in isolation. As kickoff nears, all eyes will be on Sanders, but the true story will unfold through the contributions of his teammates and the chemistry they can create together on the field. If the Browns' skilled players deliver, if they can make those uncommon plays, then Sanders will have the foundation he needs to succeed, and fans may witness the beginning of something special for the rookie quarterback in Cleveland. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. The air around Cleveland has been electric lately, charged with tension, whispers, and the unmistakable buzz of something breaking behind the scenes. For weeks, fans have sensed it, a growing frustration, subtle but undeniable, bubbling up from the Browns sideline, spilling into locker rooms, and seeping into every post-game press conference. But now, it seems, that tension has finally erupted, shattering the fragile calm like a lightning bolt. Kevin Stefanski, the man who has carried the Browns coaching mantle with patience and quiet confidence for years, has finally reached his breaking point, and the words, once contained, are now echoing across the NFL like a thunderclap. He won't play with me anymore. The statement alone has sent shockwaves through the league, leaving analysts, fans, and insiders scrambling to piece together exactly what led to such a drastic, no-turning-back declaration. For those who have been following Stefanski's tenure, this is almost unheard of. The Browns head coach is widely regarded as calm, measured, and always precise in his communication. He's not the kind to lash out publicly or make impulsive decisions in the heat of a moment. That's why when he says, with unmistakable clarity, that a player won't play with me anymore, it carries a weight that cannot be ignored. The rumor mills are running overtime, trying to identify who exactly triggered this public display of frustration, and the speculation has been wild. Some insiders suggest that this is the culmination of repeated insubordination, missed responsibilities, and a pattern of behavior that Stefanski could no longer tolerate. Others argue it could be a more personal clash, a deep philosophical difference over leadership, approach, or commitment to the team's culture. Sources close to the Browns hint at tensions that have been simmering for months, maybe even longer. It started with small incidents, disagreements over play calls, late arrivals to meetings, subtle snubs that might have seemed minor at the time, but these incidents, when strung together, painted a portrait of a relationship that had steadily eroded. Stefanski, known for his meticulous planning and exacting standards, apparently saw these actions as symptomatic of a larger problem, a lack of respect for the process he has tried so hard to instill. The breaking point, according to those familiar with the situation, came during a team meeting where frustration boiled over, voices raised, and tensions that had been carefully managed in private spilled into the open. By the end of that session, insiders say, Stefanski made it crystal clear there would be no reconciliation on his terms, no going back to business as usual. The player in question has yet to respond publicly, fueling the fire of speculation and rumor. Social media has been a frenzy of theories, from debates over leadership dynamics to wild conjectures about locker room politics. Former players, analysts, and commentators are all weighing in, each with their own interpretation of what this could mean for the Browns season. Some argue this move is a signal of Stefanski's commitment to discipline and accountability, an unflinching message to the team that no one is above the system. No one is immune from the consequences of their actions. Others worry it could fracture the locker room, creating a rift that might take months, if not years, to heal. Inside sources describe the atmosphere at the Browns facility as tense and somber. Meetings that were once collaborative now carry an undercurrent of caution, with players reportedly walking on eggshells. Unsure of when the next public admonishment might come, the coaching staff is said to be divided in opinion, some supporting Stefanski's hard stance, while others are concerned about the optics and long-term ramifications of cutting ties so publicly. The front office, meanwhile, has been quietly monitoring the situation, likely weighing the pros and cons of standing by the coach versus intervening to prevent a potential crisis. Rumors suggest that upper management respects Stefanski's authority, but is acutely aware of the risks of a public feud, making headlines across every sports outlet in the country. Analysts are pointing to the broader implications for the team's dynamics. This isn't just about one player, it's a statement, a clear message to anyone in the organization who might test boundaries or question authority. Historically, the Browns have struggled with discipline and cohesion, often falling victim to locker room discord and internal conflicts. Stefanski's declaration, in this context, can be seen as an attempt to assert control, to set a precedent that the culture of the team cannot be compromised, no matter how talented or high-profile the individual involved. Some argue this could ultimately strengthen the team, forcing players to rise to the occasion and align with Stefanski's vision. Others fear it may lead to resignations, trades, or long-term animosity that lingers far beyond a single season. Fans are divided, as is often the case in situations like this. Some are cheering Stefanski on, praising his courage to stand firm and prioritize the team over individual ego. These supporters view the move as emblematic of leadership, someone willing to make tough decisions for the greater good. Others are concerned, questioning whether this conflict could unravel months of careful planning and preparation, or whether it signals deeper, unresolved issues within the organization. Online forums and comment sections are ablaze with theories, ranging from heated debates over player behavior to wild guesses about how the fallout could influence upcoming games, potential trades, and even future coaching decisions. Every tweet, post, and headline seems to amplify the drama, feeding the rumor mill and keeping the story alive in the public consciousness. Meanwhile, sports media outlets are scrambling to dig deeper, calling in sources and insider contacts in a bid to clarify what has really gone down. Every snippet of information is analyzed, dissected, and debated endlessly, fueling speculation about the next steps. Will the player be benched permanently? Could there be a trade on the horizon? Or is this a temporary standoff that could eventually resolve behind closed doors? Every angle is being explored, with no shortage of hot takes and dramatic headlines designed to capture the audience's attention. The narrative has all the ingredients of a saga: conflict, high stakes, personalities clashing, and the looming question of who will ultimately prevail in a battle of pride, principle, and control. In the end, the statement itself, simple, direct, and uncompromising, has become a defining moment. For Stefanski and the Browns, it crystallizes a narrative that had been building for months, maybe years, and now it is out in the open for all to see. Whether this will mark the beginning of a dramatic transformation, a cautionary tale, or a prolonged saga of conflict remains to be seen. What is clear, however, is that Kevin Stefanski has drawn a line in the sand. And in the world of professional football, lines like this are rarely ignored. The rumor mills will continue to churn. The debates will rage on, and the fans, analysts, and insiders alike will be watching every move, every comment, every shift in strategy, looking for the next hint of how this story will unfold. And one thing is certain, the Browns and perhaps the entire NFL are not going to be the same for a long time. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!